Riots heading to streets after sick admission comes out about why Muslim cop shot white woman. When Justine Damon called the cops to report a potential assault she heard behind her Minneapolis home on Sunday, she didn't think she would become the victim. As she stood beside the patrol car in her pajamas, calmly describing what she witnessed, she was shot in the gut by the Somali Muslim cop listening to her account from the passenger seat. In the hours since the horrific details of that fatal night, the country was left wondering why this officer sent to protect this woman killed her without provocation. Now the truth has come out and it's worse than we thought after Officer Mohammed Nir's partner who was there that night reveals the motive based on what he witnessed seconds before Nir pulled the trigger. It's been nearly 36 hours since the news first surfaced in the media late Monday afternoon, and nobody has heard a thing on the matter from Nir's partner, Officer Matthew Harity. Harity was in the driver's seat of the patrol vehicle, with his window down talking to Damon who was reporting a potential sexual assault in the alley behind her home. Halfway through her witness account, Nir reached across Harity and shot the blonde woman, who was a bride-to-be, yoga teacher, and recent transplant to America from Australia. It's safe to say that Harity was as surprised by the sudden lethal action as the rest of us. But in being on the scene and knowing Nir personally, he's now exposed one damning detail. The Daily Mail reports. A police source told KARE 11 that Harity was left stunned by Officer Mohammed Nir's actions. The revelation makes the motive for shooting all the more mysterious as it appears that Harity did not view Damon as posing a threat. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, BCA, investigating the incident, is remaining tight-lipped about what happened late that Saturday night until they finish interviewing Nir and Harity as part of their probe. According to local Minnesota news, the Star-Tribune, those details have now come out about what happened in those critical seconds before Nir decided that a fatal response was necessary. This Muslim should have never been on the police force to begin with, considering he had a history of violence, including charges of assaulting another woman while on the job. Had this victim been black and cop was white, there would be rioting in the streets already well before now. Considering the race reversal, there's not the same outrage, but should be. Political correctness and protecting Muslim and Muslim refugees in America is literally killing people and something must be done about it. Blue Lives Matter reports. In the interview, Officer Harity said heard the loud noise prior to Officer Nir firing his weapon. The BCA said, Harity indicated that he was startled by a loud sound near the squad, according to Star-Tribune. Immediately after the loud noises when Justine Damon approached the squad car in her pajamas, and Officer Nir fired his weapon. During the radio audio of the incident, a dispatcher references 2 shots heard to the east. An officer responded, "We heard those sounds from the station, those are probably aerial fireworks." It's believed that those fireworks may be the loud noise that the officers hears. It is not clear at this time if the shooting was an accidental discharge from being startled, or Officer Nir was responding to what he perceived to be gunshots while a person approached them, or some other reasoning. Officer Nir has still not been interviewed. If the shooting is determined to have been accidental, criminal charges would be appropriate and are certain to be filed. If the shooting was an intentional act, then all of the circumstances would need to be the judge to determine if it was objectively reasonable. Nir should have been stripped of his badge and gun after a May 25, 2017 incident in which he accused of false imprisonment, assault and battery. He and 2 other officers had arrived at a woman's house in response to a call to police in which he allegedly mistreated a woman in the home there. The victim recently filed a lawsuit against Nir before he killed Damon during this last call. Nir attempted to discredit his previous victim's claim by saying he has reason to believe she was suffering a mental breakdown, as an excuse for creating these allegations. The woman and her doctors have adamantly denied this assertion, stating that Nir grabbed her right wrist and upper arm which led to her having severe pain which was caused by a previous shoulder injury as she was being arrested. There is a trend of mistreatment of women by Nir which characteristic of his Islamic faith. He should have never been allowed in a position of power initially if he's so triggered by loud noises. In this later case, perhaps as a result of his upbringing in Somalia. However, he definitely should have at least been put on leave of absence after the abuse allegations against him. If it had not been for protecting Muslims in Minnesota and giving them equal opportunities, Justine would be alive today and looking forward to walking down the aisle. Instead, her would-be husband will be carrying her casket. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.